You sit in your cell
I'm
and
allowed to do nothing.
yeah. You get out of your cell at all?
I
Except
get
for
out
these
a
kind of-
little square box about from there to there. Not very,
Is that where you get your exercise?
Well, if you call it exercise, not really exercise. They just got this excuse. They give excuses and they play you off to like they're doing something, but they're not. Not really.
Where do you have your meals? Do you eat in your
In
cell?
itself,
Yeah.
I'm forced to trust it, whether I like to eat from people's hands or not.
Yeah.
I'm holding the trust of California in my stomach.
You get a lot of letters. I know that. They said you get lots of mail here. Do you get mail from family members? Sandra
What are
Good?
family members?
Well, people that used to hang out with you. Sandra Good, I know, moved here.
Sandy's a good person. She's a wonderful human being.
She writes you often. You
She
guys
did 10
communicate.
years in prison trying to stop the chemicals from being poured on the land.
But
Don't
you
say she did it for me.
Yeah.
She did it for herself. She did it for the world she lives in.
You hear from her though. You guys.
Yeah,
have
yeah.
letters,
We write
correspond.
back and forth. She's all right.
Do you make friends in prison? Is that possible?
Friends?
Do you have friends in prison?
Mhm.
How do you define friendship?
I live by God's law. I treat everyone just like I would myself. If you treat me right, I'll treat you right. If you spit on me, then I got a spit coming.
Do you ever feel like you're in danger? You were once a fellow inmate once set you on fire, I think, in a
Yeah.
previous state. Do you ever feel like you're threatened when you're in prison?
No, not really.
Yeah. Not here, I guess, because you're so.
What set me on fire
Control.
was a thought.
I thought it was.
India.
I thought it was gasoline.
No, it was a thought from an India.
Yeah.
Do you remember the next day that the head of India was shot and killed?
I didn't realize that was the same
Hey,
time that
look
you
here,
were
look
me.
here, look here. I'm not on a local level.
You're on an international level.
I'm on a world level 3 times around. I know why the Queen wears those 3 stripes on her hat. And I know why she goes to Kentucky to get her horses. There isn't anything I don't know from here to the IRA. I know who gets bombed and why those 17 people starved themselves in Belfast. That's because I live in cell 17. Because those are angels that fly in my world. To me, those are 17 machine guns. yeah.
If you hadn't grown up institutionalized, as you said, since you were 10 years old, what do you think would be different now for you?
Well, I haven't grown up.
Okay.
And I don't think I will.
All right. Well, if you hadn't spent all that time in prison from the age of 10 on, how do you think things would be different for you
I'd probably be dead.
now? Yeah?
Prison has saved me a lot of times. Prison's not a bad place. Prison's like a monastery. You come and get your stuff together, you straighten out your hand, you get another chance to start all over and get it right.
Do you think people get rehabilitated in prison?
Why, sure, hell
Yeah?
yes.
How does that happen?
You have to do it inside yourself. You have to figure it out what's wrong with you.
Yeah. But do you need a prison to do that?
A prison helps. A prison helps. Like a lot of times, let me give you this, like veterans raised me. The men that were in the Second World War were my cottage supervisors when I was a kid. They taught me how to play handball. They taught me how to box. They taught me how to be honest with myself. They taught me a whole lot of things that are really pretty good. I fought against them for years, and I didn't really understand until I conquered myself, but they told me that the only guy I'm fighting is me, and I'm my own worst enemy. And when I get that straightened out, then I can touch somebody else. But in order to do that, sometimes you got to go through hard knocks, and you got to go through the hard part. The hard part. In other words, how are you going to go to heaven unless you danced in hell? I mean, how are you going to know it? How are you going to feel good unless you feel bad? I mean, it runs both different, like.
When you were first imprisoned, you were on death row. Your sentence was commuted in the early 70s. How did you feel, though, before that time?
I knew that my sentence would be commuted.
You knew that all
Well,
along.
sure.
Yeah. So you weren't afraid about
I knew
being
it
executed.
when I was standing in the courtroom.
Yeah.
See, each man knows when he wants to. Each man knows when he must know. When you're pushed in a position to know. I stood in the courtroom, I told the judge, man, I'm dead in this. What I meant by I'm dead in this, I don't have no thought. Ain't none of that. That's the generation of the 60s. I'm not a generation of the 60s. I'm a generation of the 30s. I played on the same ball club that your old man made movies of in Virginia, the VMI, with Natural Bridge, when I was a little kid, 1950, before the Korean War started. I was in a little federal boys camp, everyone thinks I just came on the set in 1969 because I'm little and I look young, so they felt I was young, but I was an old man when I got busted. I'm an old man now, but I was still an old man then.
Should you be in prison at all? Should you have been in prison?
Well, see, to start with, prison was originally started as a farm. And if you liked the person that came in your courtroom, you gave him another chance to be reborn and enter into a right way of life. Prison was not built to punish people. It was built to help people. That's why they're called peace officers. But sadistic ding-dongs got in there and wanted to make it into be the shadows of what they thought. And the incompetent and the inadequate need to punish someone so they feel better. So it's like in reform school, they used to lay me down and beat me with leather straps till I couldn't walk. And I used to think, what did I do wrong? And for years I would think that I was wrong, that I did something wrong, and then I seen it wasn't that I did anything wrong. They beat me so they show the next kids now what not to do. So, you know, in other words, like, prison is the mind. Most of the people that work in the prison are more in prison than the people they've got in prison. They've just got their kids in prison. They got the poor people in prison. They got people that have no money in prison. I don't understand what prison is anymore.
Would you like to get out of prison?
I'd like to get out of handcuffs.
Yeah.
In other words, like, I can't buy no illusion or no carrot on the nose. In other words, you do what I say and I might do this. And then I do what you say and you never pay me. I go through Vacaville and I carry Vacaville on my back for 18 years and they promised me a mainline. 3 doctors took me off Category J and took me off high violent potential. I go back to San Quentin. They need me for high violence so they can sell this thing to the public that they're selling to the public, so they have more income taxes, build more prisons, and convict the public in their eyes as if they're doing the right thing and protecting the public and doing good, that they're creating more crime. We're creating the crime that's eating us up. We're creating it with our media. We're creating it. Criminals are our children. We don't want to face that, but the criminals are our children. Huh?
Let's say tomorrow they come to you and they say, Charlie, we made a mistake. You don't belong here. We're letting you go. What's your first move once you're out the door?
Go where?
Yeah, they're going to let you go.
I'd probably get myself a motorcycle.
Yeah. Where would you go?
Put a couple of sleeping bags on it and just walk around. Go. I don't really go anywhere. You can't move. Anywhere you go, you're always there. I'm the universe. I'm going to move the universe. You move here, I'm here. I mean, where am I going to go? I mean, you're here. If you go back to L.A. and you sit down, you're still here. Anywhere you go, you're always there, man. You can't get away from Ireland. I lived in Mexico City with a bullfighter, and he was teaching me how to fight the bulls. He had just came back from Spain with a beautiful woman. She had 3 beautiful daughters. And it was in a villa in Acapulco, and I was trying to dive off that cliff. And I busted my head, and I was locked up in this little room, and they had a little parrot. And they treated me like I was somebody. They gave me respect. And I taught that parrot how to say mother. And he was very staunch and you know, he's very upstanding, you know. And when I left, that parrot was flying up and down the hallways, saying that curse word. And I've always felt bad.
That was bad. What's the best thing that's ever happened to you?